Here's a simple question. Who is the Prophet Idris in Islam? Well, he's Hermes Trismegistus. From the ancient Greek, Hermes the thrice greatest, in classical Latin known as Mercurius ter Maximus. He's a legendary Hellenistic figure that originated as a syncretic combination of the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god Thoth. In the Roman, he would be Mercury. Thoth is the legendary Egyptian god of pharaonic wisdom who created the famous collection of esoteric writings known as the Corpus Hermeticum, which is attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, his Hellenistic Greek twin. The two gods were worshipped as one in what had been the temple of Thoth in Chemenu, which was known in the Hellenistic period as Hermopolis. Hermes Trismegistus is Idris, the second prophet in the Quran. Modern Islamic scholars claim he is Enoch in the Hebrew Bible. Older scholarly writings have him as Hermes Trismegistus, the prophet of Allah, although he has 3 incarnations, so Enoch may well be one of them. He is believed to have been a wise and just man who was given divine knowledge and chosen by Allah to be the messenger of truth. Ponder that for a moment. Hermes or Thoth was a god who became an author and to whom our oldest occult writings are ascribed. So Allah apparently sent the occult down to Idris, who happens to be this Egyptian god Thoth. You can't make this up. Or actually, you know what? Clearly you can. And they did. So Hermes Thoth was a god who became an author and to whom our oldest occult writings are ascribed and from whom they take their name, the Hermetic Corpus, or the Corpus Hermeticum. Now, they do claim that he was a contemporary of Moses, although if I do a deeper dive in this, that story this is a really hysterically funny story, but do understand that occultists take this very seriously, although it is clearly fiction. The Hermetic Corpus was said to have been transmitted through the prophet Mary or Miriam, sister to Moses. Among his works was the most ancient and influential of alchemical treatises, the Tabula Smaragdina, or Emerald Notebook. From the Encyclopedia of Islam, Hermes Trismegistus, that strange god incarnate, on the one hand the Hellenistic name of the Egyptian god Thoth, on the other hand the author of philosophical, scientific and magical works. When they say scientific, they don't mean test tubes in a lab. And magic, they mean the occult. Hermes Trismegistus passed in both of his capacities into Islam. Islam, it is true, transformed the god into one of the heroes of olden times. And his name is Mutala bil Hikmah, which is really fascinating because he brought the wisdom of the ages. So the Hikmah in Islam is the knowledge brought by this occultist. This man is revered amongst occultists, Freemasons, Rosicrucians, and others who are even further off the cliff. And this hikmah is brought by this god of Egypt, who is supposedly a source of the wisdom in Islam. Yeah, Islam. So the wisdom of Hermes began with the cosmogony, an account of the creation of the world. It is worth noting that this claim about Mary, who was the prophet that transmitted his works, is not widely accepted by scholars and is considered to be a later addition to the Hermetic tradition. There were lots of later additions. Wow, this story is fascinating. It is believed that this claim originated in the Renaissance period when there was a renewed interest in Hermeticism and other esoteric traditions. Now, in terms of this Renaissance period, with what happened within the changes in the story, we would have to go to the Medici family, we'd have to go to Italy and to a man called Ficino, because a whole new mythology was built up around Hermes Trismegistus, right? And this is where the Medici family and a man called Ficino come in. The idea of a connection between Hermeticism and Christianity was appealing to many scholars and thinkers of that time, and it led to the development of various syncretic movements that sought to reconcile these two traditions, and this heresy is still present today. The story of Hermes Trismegistus is quite honestly, when you go into depth, it's a laughable jumble. It changes constantly, and it varies dependent on whom you read. Of course, Hermes is the source of the wisdom of the ages. So more on this wacky topic another time. Thank you.